Okay, so you know how I said I was gonna just do this messy? I was like, I will stick to 5 minutes. Every episode will be 5 minutes or less. And I don't know if that's possible. So, I mean, there you go. It's only been a few episodes and I'm already doing it messy. Okay, so remember I told you that I took a training called Dare to Lead. I really encourage you to read this book. It's awesome. It's about like workplace leadership, business, stuff like that, but it really is so much about ourselves and our own journey and what's happening within us. So this comes from the workbook that you get when you go through the course, but I just want to share her definition of shame. This is Brene Brown. Shame is the intensely painful feeling or experience of believing that we are flawed and therefore unworthy of love and belonging. Owning our story can be hard, but not nearly as difficult as spending our lives running from it. Embracing our vulnerabilities is risky, but not nearly as dangerous as giving up on love, belonging, and joy, the experiences that make us the most vulnerable. Only when we are brave enough to explore the darkness will we discover the infinite power of our light. I love that. I think that it is an exploration of the darkness that we get those gifts, but then we can feel the light side of things more deeply. Okay, so what I want to talk about today is the 3 shame shields. I will tell you that the shame shields that I learned about from Brene are based on the strategies of disconnection developed by Linda Hartling at the Stone Center at Wellesley. So she has kind of them in here as shields. I'm going to talk about them in a way as like how I understand them now and how I feel like they show up for me and for my clients. One is people pleasing. People pleasing is taking on other people's discomfort, trying to make everybody else in the room comfortable, but like I'm taking on the discomfort. It's also saying yes when I actually mean no. Like when inside of me, it's a no, but I say yes anyways, just to please them. Again, taking on the discomfort of others. The other one is blame and defensiveness and aggressiveness. Shame and blame are 2 sides of the same coin. And the last is shutting down and withdrawing. And I see this both emotionally and physically. So these are kind of the 3 shame shields, she calls it. She calls them moving away, moving toward, and moving against. But in my mind, it's people pleasing, defensiveness or blame, and shutting down and withdrawing. And that's a little bit easier for my lingo for my brain to wrap around. But I know that when the shields are present, that means that shame is present. So if I am interacting in that way, then I know that shame's under the surface. And that was the biggest light bulb learning moment for me when I learned about this back in 2020 and 2021. Because I was like, okay, well, when am I people pleasing? When somebody sends me a text message and then I say something and then they respond and I'm like, oh my gosh, they think this about me. And then I start like over explaining myself, or I totally shut down and withdraw, or I freak out at them, or I say something unkind or whatever that I later regret. I realized how often I did that, like all day, often. That in some situations, like maybe if it was on social media, I was a little bit more people-pleasy. When it came to my immediate family, I was usually a little bit more blamey and defensive-y and aggressive. When it came to my husband, I was a little bit more shut down and withdrawy. But I did all 3 of these regularly all of the time. I just didn't recognize that it also meant the presence of shame. And so as you dig into this, you can dig into like, how are these showing up for me? When am I doing this? And also, again, asking yourself those questions like, what meaning am I attaching to this? Like, what meaning is there under the surface that doesn't have anything to do with it, what they just said, but like, what am I making that mean about me? That's a really difficult question to uncover. And you might have to ask yourself it in a couple different ways and kind of pause for a minute to be like, wait, what's really under the surface here? What's actually bothering me about the words that they just texted me? What meaning am I attaching to their actions or to their words? And when I uncover and start to notice my shutting down, withdrawing, my people pleasing, and my blame and defensiveness, I just started practicing with this and I started like recognizing it in myself, and it was just coming up every day, all day long. And shame was always under it, always, every single time. And so that's a great way to kind of start uncovering where it might be in your life. And the very first step is always uncovering it. It's like becoming awake to it, becoming aware of it. If there's no awareness, then we can't do anything about it. The first step is always awareness. And for me, that was like 80% of the work was actually noticing it and its role in my life. If you are enjoying these episodes, I would love for you to follow, subscribe, like, share, do all those things so that it can get more out into the world, more out into the algorithm, and join me in this shame-free movement.